Hey, what's up you guys? My name's Lindsay and you're watching my channel, ASightToSee. So I've been getting a lot of questions recently about what kind of gear I use, so I thought I would kind of go through all of that with you guys today. I've been vlogging for about 2 years, so I'm going to go over the stuff that I used when I first started and the stuff that I'm using now. Because we definitely didn't start with all this. And you definitely don't need all of this to start out with. Because if you just started vlogging, it's going to take you a while to know whether it's something that you really want to invest a lot of time and money in on. I think that made sense. I do more than just vlogging with all my filming equipment, so mine might be a little more extra than you need, but let's start with the beginning. So I started out with this, and I might not be saying it right because it is an off-brand, Ikesco? I'm not sure, but it's this little 4K underwater camera that you can get on Amazon. When I got it like 3 years ago, it was like $75, so it might be cheaper than that. But you can't really hear anything through that underwater housing, like at all. The audio is terrible. It's a really good picture, and if you're not using the underwater housing, it is a bit better. I decided after using that for my first trip, here's some footage of that, I decided it was time to upgrade. So I then got a GoPro Hero 6. Right now I have the GoPro Hero 7 because I wound up having some problems with my GoPro Hero 6, and with the warranty they let you trade it back in for another one, but they didn't have any of the 6s anymore when I went to trade it in, so they gave me the 7, which was pretty cool. But you can do so much with a GoPro. Like, a GoPro will take you so far. You can take it almost anywhere. It has really good audio, not the best. As long as you learn how to hold it correctly, like if I like move my hand around a lot when I'm using this, you'll be able to hear every single noise because it will radiate up into the camera. But if you get like a longer selfie stick, or put it on the ground and don't touch it when you're speaking, or cut out the audio when you're editing, this can be a really great camera because it can film in 4K. When I got it, it was about $300. I'm sure you can find used ones. These things are really hard to break. They are waterproof, they're shockproof. You could probably throw it all the way down a football field and it would still be in good condition. So the one thing that the GoPro isn't good for would be like cinematic shots, like you see in a lot of my vlogs. I love cinematic shots as a filmmaker and as an editor because I could just have so much fun with them. It's like painting, but in video. That's when you want to get more of like a DSLR camera. I started with the Canon Rebel T3i, which I sold like a year ago, and upgraded to the Canon M50 because it was a little bit lighter and the specs on it were just a little bit better, and it really wasn't an expensive camera. The lens that I'm using right now it's my baby. It is my favorite lens that I have ever bought, and it is the perfect vlogging lens. I love that the aperture goes down to a 1.4, so if I get really close, you see how the background is like really blurred behind me, but it can also like open up to a much wider depth of field. The only thing is it's not a zoom lens, so this is the one shot that you can get. Obviously you could come up close and come far away, but it is perfect because when I'm vlogging, you can see the entirety of my face and still have that background blur, but my face isn't too close to the camera. The one that I'm using now is a Sigma 16 1.4, and it was $400, which honestly for a 1.4 lens is a really good price. I got mine on B&H because they were sold out of them everywhere else. They were kind of hard to find when I was looking for one. They're one of the best vlogging lenses. I have another cinematic lens, which is a 50mm 1.8. So this is my 50mm. It also does not zoom in, but it takes shots like this. The only thing is I couldn't use this to vlog with because if I'm only holding it this far away from my face, you're gonna just be able to see my nose, maybe, and that's about it. This was $125 when I got it, but I'm gonna put the updated price over here. Great cheap lens for beginners. This is the lens that my camera came with. It is a 15 to 45mm lens. I never use my stock lenses just because they're not great. I'm pretty sure this can only go down to like a 4 aperture, and my other lens, which I think I've only used it maybe like 1 or 2 times to get shots of animals because it's not something I really use very often. Oh, and the moon. It's great for the moon. It is a 75 to 300mm lens. Gonna list the price over here because I don't remember it. This is great to capture the moon with. It's a little bit big, so it's kind of rough to fit in your camera bag if you're not trying to have a huge camera bag. Also, part of my equipment would be the ring light that I'm using, that my camera is sitting in the middle of. I got it on Amazon. Oh my god, I can never remember the prices of things. I'm gonna put it over here. But it's fantastic. Honestly, it has changed how my vlogs talking are. like this, not out in the world traveling, but for updates and explaining things about information. It's great, it lights me up, it doesn't overshoot the background, it's very adjustable. You could do warm colors, you could do cool colors, and it actually takes batteries, so if you wanted to, it's 19 inches, it's very big, but if you did want to take it outside for night shooting or whatever type of shooting, you can use battery with it, which is fantastic. But that wasn't the light that I started with. I started with this light. Battery pack goes in the back. You just need a little connector to put it on top of your camera. I'm currently using mine for the ring light. But it is pretty bright when the battery's not dead. And it's fully adjustable back here. You could make it brighter, you can make it less bright, so your face isn't blown out. It's really good, and it's much cheaper than the ring light, and it's a lot more portable. So I still use that light when I'm shooting either something at night or on the beach. It's perfect for that. All right, next let's talk about microphones. For the purpose of this vlog, I am just using the audio off of the Canon, but I did want to show you what 2 different microphones are like. Okay, let's do it. Alright, so this is with the Rode mic on. I got this in a bundle with my camera, thankfully, because I don't think it's the best mic. It's cheap, it's good for a beginner mic, but I did just get a new microphone. The main reason I wanted this one was for the windsock, because I am always in windy places on mountains and no one can ever hear me. Okay, so yesterday when I was filming this microphone, I didn't have it plugged in all the way, so this is what it sounds like when I'm not messing it up. The microphone was mainly on for an example. Okay, also, for my cameras, I have this... Man, the names are just slipping my mind today. But it's like a grip thing, and you put your camera on it. It's good enough to hold a DSLR, at least mine with my big lens, so I can tell you that it's good enough for that. You could hook it onto trees, rails, branches. It's perfect to like set it up somewhere if you're vlogging. I also have a mini one for the GoPro. Like, these are perfect just to like, so you can hold it up and it'd be more comfortable than you holding the lens or holding the body of the camera. And they're really not expensive, so that's probably a must-have for vlogging, at least, if you're in it. If you're not in it, then obviously holding the body of the camera is fine. I have a lot of equipment. Oh! This computer. I didn't start out with this computer though, so this is a nice computer. It's a CyberPower PC. Here are the specs. And I have a 4K curved monitor. This is mainly because I deserve that after 5 years of living with that 2015 Mac laptop that barely ran Premiere, didn't run Adobe After Effects, didn't give me all the freedom that I wanted to do with editing, because it was just it was a terrible laptop. I don't suggest that laptop to anybody. It did get recalled, so they probably don't sell it anymore. The monitor was $400, and the tower itself was about $1450. It was expensive, but I know that this computer is going to last me for at least the next 10 years, and I will have no problems editing my films. This can be an iffy topic, because yes, my Mac laptop, it did help me make the first 100 vlogs, right? And that's great, but it really didn't give me the freedom that I wanted to, because it just couldn't run it well enough. If you are just wanting to do regular vlogs, just talking, just like you and me right now, then honestly, any kind of laptop will probably be good enough. But if you really want to get into effects and animation, things that require Adobe After Effects, programs like that, you're gonna want a slightly better computer. I'm a lot better at talking about cameras than computers, so I'm not going to try and pretend that I have knowledge on this, which I don't. But I can tell you, you want to make sure, or at least get advice from somebody that they can run whatever program that you want to run. I always prefer Adobe Premiere Pro. I do pay I'm now paying $29 for the cloud a month. I somehow got on there on a discount, which is great, but usually it's $54 a month. If you want just Premiere Pro, I believe it's only $20 a month, which isn't bad, but it's not great. I mean, it depends on how often you use it. I'll use Premiere every day of the month, so it's worth it to me to get the entire Adobe Creative Cloud, so I could also use Photoshop, Lightroom, After Effects, Illustrator, Audition, animation. But if you're, like I said, if you're just starting out, if you're just worried about the bare minimum, I do suggest trying out Premiere, because it will really help you more in the future. There are other programs that you can use that are free, that will still get the job done, and I'm going to put them here. Another piece of equipment that I have that I don't like talking about is the Rise drone. I would not suggest anyone to get this drone, even if you're just like, let me practice. I'm pretty sure there are better drones out there the Nutella Rise that I bought for $100 and gave me footage like this. The skipping is in the footage. I did not put in any editing for there to be skipping. It's not supposed to be skipping. It's just terrible 720p footage. Don't get that drunk. I never use it anymore. Eventually I want to get the Maverick Mini, which is about $500, so that's a little bit down the road. But the last piece of equipment that I want to talk about it last because I don't actually know how to use it yet, but I bought it and I'm kind of bothered by that. God, it's just so delicate. I'm like afraid of it. This is a gimbal. You put your camera on it and it will make all your shots steady. The alternative to this is warp stabilizer. That's an effect in Adobe Premiere Pro, but sometimes it can severely warp your footage. The gimbal cost me about $220. I am gonna learn how to use it. I just want somebody to teach me in person. And Corona, it's been a little bit difficult finding somebody who knows how to operate a gimbal and can teach me how to do that right now, just because I don't want to mess it up. It's very delicate. Yeah, but what I mainly use is my Canon M50 with my 16mm lens. Now I'm going to be using my new mic. I still constantly use the GoPro because, well, this is the only camera that can go underwater, and if I feel like I'm in like a dangerous area where I might slip or something and I don't want to risk the Canon falling down a mountain, I'll just bring the GoPro instead because this will make it down a mountain and be fine. But I hope this gave you guys a little bit more insight on the type of equipment that I use, and if you have any questions that I could help you with about types of gear, something that might be better for your price range, please just leave me a comment down below or message me on Instagram. Please smash that subscribe button as it is a new year and it is time for so many new adventures. I will catch you guys on the next one.